know nobody will probably ever see this, and it doesn't matter, but I off my chest. All I wanted to do. Remember what I wanted to do. What did I want to do? I wanted to. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. You see, I have this little icon here, and this is for Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2000. It's a pirated copy of Adobe Premiere Pro. The pirated copy of Premiere that I've been using for years because I barely ever use it, and I really don't give a fuck. I've never even put out anything that I ever made with it, so who gives a fuck? It's just something that I've done in my spare time. Not paying thousands of fuck. Anyways, current year, I not doing anything with Premiere Pro. I'm just using my computer, and I accidentally click on this icon. Click on this icon. Adobe says, well, I've already removed this. Adobe said, this is an invalid version of Premiere Pro. Adobe is going to disable this app in 5 days, and we'll give you a discount if you want to buy it. Cool. Let's not even get into how that's a virus right there. Let's move on from that. So basically, I'm just like, okay, well, I just want to completely remove everything Adobe from my system. I want to get rid of everything that is Adobe related. So I go to add and remove programs, and I search Adobe. I want to remove Adobe Creative Cloud. All right. Now, when I click this button, uninstall Adobe Creative Cloud, it brings up this. Say yes, yes, uninstall. Couldn't uninstall Creative Cloud for desktop. You still have Creative Cloud application that require it. Okay, so the only other thing that I see here that's Adobe related is Photoshop 2024. So I click uninstall. And then now initially, now we're here. Initially, what this did, because you see that we're now in the Adobe Creative Cloud app. Clicking this uninstaller, the Windows uninstaller button, brought me to the Creative Cloud app. And when this initially opened, it was forced to update to the current version on my system. And then I was forced to sign in to be able to remove anything. Cool. When I sign in to the app, the only app that it shows, when I signed into the Creative Cloud app, this thing right here, which the bar is up hidden behind my taskbar. I like to keep my taskbar on the top of my frame, and most competent developers are capable of programming their windows in Windows to be able to accommodate people who like maybe some different, you are able to do this in Windows, by the way. You have been able to do this for 30 fucking years. And I like mine to be on the top. Yeah, I know. It's different. Oh, differences are hard, developers. They're hard. They're very hard to deal with. But you can program this so that every time it opens, it's not actually hidden by the taskbar, therefore forcing me to move it just so that I can grab it and move it around like this for dramatic effect. Because this app, this Creative Cloud app, shows that I don't have any installed apps. No apps installed. Now, when I initially opened this, it showed that I had Premiere installed. And so I clicked uninstall, and then it uninstalled. And then I closed this, and then I went back to the Windows uninstaller, and I tried to uninstall it again, but I got that same message. So then we'll go here. Now notice, Adobe Photoshop 2024, 9 gigabytes. But where's it at? Where's it at? Now, I've already done this, so I don't even really know what's going on at this point. We'll just continue to troubleshoot the virus that's been installed on my computer. Now, notice, this is the Windows uninstaller. And now, after being forced to update this app and being forced to sign into it in order to do anything, and then after going back to the Windows uninstaller because there's nothing showing up here on in the app, and then clicking this button, it brings me back to the app to remove Photoshop. Photoshop preferences. Notice how there's no installed apps according to this Creative Cloud app. All right, so we'll click remove. Move again. If the virus will remove itself from my computer or not. And then Photoshop shows up here briefly. Something happened. I'm not sure what. Nothing seems to be happening anymore. Photoshop is no longer on here. It was only there for a brief second. There's processes going on. OBS is barely struggling. All the memory is in Apex Legends. Nothing's happening. No longer uninstalling or doing anything. And yet, I cannot remove either of these things from my computer. I mean, this in of itself should be criminal. This right here, this message, this right here, no, not this message, sorry, this message right here, couldn't uninstall. You still have other applications that require this one. That should be criminal. That should be criminal. This ridiculous. So now we have to proceed into forcefully deleting the files off my. Just incredible to me that in 2024, Adobe just transforms itself into a virus, thinks nobody will notice, and that I have to go into my file system. I can't even like pull up where this thing is located. I can't. Companies, man, are just awful. Just fucking awful. Adobe. Also, right click on what this is what a developer that is like ethical, a regular app or program that you install, always have a way for you to bar. But this can't, it just brings up this window. It is just like the most as obfuscated information as they can make it. As just hiding the ways to close it or get rid of it or exit it out, hiding all of that as much. And it's just like, why? Like, do you think that people are going to forget that they can quit the program unless, like, if you don't show the quit button, you think they're just going to forget that they can quit? Or that they should be able to close the fucking app? You think that people only like exit your ecosystem, which is I'm sure what they fucking call it internally, their fucking tech ecosystem? You think they only exit it because they see an exit button and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't have to have Adobe running all the time on my computer. I can close it. I forgot. But there's a sign here. Now I remember." Like, no. No, people just like, what's the point of this? Quit. Delete. Yeah, I'm sure it is open another. I'm sure it is, man. Okay. Well, what could you delete? Could you delete anything? They got so many different ones. I gotta sort it by fucking name. So I can find them all. And maybe one time. Hey, look at that. Oh, no, there's something. There's still something. We got one of them. Still something, you know, almost like it's some kind of virus that's running to like prevent you from removing it from your computer. Crazy, you know? It's kind of crazy how much this resembles the process of me trying to forcefully remove a virus from my system. You know what I mean? Isn't that wild? Isn't that kind of funny? How much this feels like fucking being a virus? Imagine. Oh, hey, look at that. That worked. Fuck out of here. Guess I'm sure I probably. Come on, get out of here. Adobe in here. Adobe. Oh, look at that. Adobe. Oh, let's check the how to remove program. Adobe. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Now, to be clear, this copy of Photoshop was legitimate. This is something that I did the free trial through the Adobe app, which is why the legitimate Adobe shit is on my computer in the first place. And I just didn't renew my subscription. And I haven't used it in months, which is why, and this is why I wanted to start recording this, because it's just funny to me. It's funny to me that while at the same time they're trying to be these like weird, devious, Machiavellian, scummy, rat-like, slimy creatures that are just trying to deceive and worm their way into people's wallets and bank accounts permanently. Fucking gross. But on top of that, they're so fucking incompetent that like their you can see it earlier in the video, their Creative Cloud app forced itself to update whenever I went to uninstall Photoshop, and then when it forced itself to update, it made itself unable to interact properly with the older, out-of-date copy of Photoshop that was still installed on my computer, and therefore could not recognize in its list of apps on my system that Photoshop was still installed. And so I couldn't even access my current copy of Photoshop through their app because they broke their own fancy schmancy tech ecosystem that they're trying to blindfold people into living in. It's weird and hilariously fucking incredible. And now that I have gone in through the task manager, ended all Adobe related processes, gone into my file system and forcefully deleted the related files. Now, when I go to uninstall my copy of Adobe Photoshop, now it opens its own little dedicated Photoshop uninstaller and just uninstalls it. like it should, like it would have before Adobe decided to transform their software into a virus. I, like I have known loosely in the background noise of the world going on that Adobe has gone to shit in the last couple of months, and they pulled some like shady shit. But this just like randomly happening to me, I'm just like, my mind, as it continues to be every day by the malpractice of capitalism and how it just exceeds the bounds of imaginations every fucking day, my mind is continually blown. Adobe is just a virus now. Like Adobe, Photoshop, the shit I've been using like high school projects and college projects and presentations and to make flyers and to make business cards and just like Photoshop is a virus now. Get it out of here. Get that shit out of here. I have to go in and delete the registry entry for this. Unbelievable.